General Robert E. Lee, commander of the Virginia military, planned to defeat the Union by winning Maryland over to the Confederacy.
Washington, D.C., the Union capital, would then be completely surrounded by a Confederate state.
Lee dictated Special Orders No. 191, which sent Stonewall Jackson's men to capture Harper's Ferry, dividing and weakening the Confederate forces.
A Union soldier went to take a nap under a tree in a meadow and happened to find Special Orders tied around 3 cigars.
He told General McClellan what he had found, but McClellan decided not to act because he was an extremely cautious man.
Suspecting that Lee had huge numbers at his command, McClellan wanted to wait for reinforcements.
McClellan actually had twice as many soldiers as Lee did.
As soon as McClellan's reinforcements came, Stonewall Jackson's men joined Lee and McClellan's caution and lost him most of his advantage.
Lee and McClellan met at Antietam Creek in Maryland.
McClellan's battle plans involved sending several groups of his men to attack the Confederates from the left and another group across the creek to attack from the right.
Unfortunately for McClellan, his strategy meant his soldiers were always divided, so it didn't matter that he had more men.
Lee was able to shift his men to be wherever the Union was attacking at that time. Some Union soldiers entered a cornfield to fight the Confederates, while others went along the sunken road.
The cornfield was a bloodbath. Row after row of Union soldiers fell shot down by the Confederates.
One group managed to get beyond the cornfield and entered the woods on the other side. They met no resistance.
All of a sudden, Confederate soldiers jumped out from behind trees and bushes and killed nearly half of the group.
On the sunken road, Confederates were positioned strategically, so they were well protected as they fired at the Union soldiers. The Confederate line was finally broke after 2 hours of fighting.
Meanwhile, General Ambrose Burnside and his men attempted to cross Antietam Creek. They were near to victory until a wave of Confederates, this time with horses, flooded the area.
The battle was technically a draw, but the damage done to Lee's army was severe enough to warrant a Confederate retreat.
McClellan, cautious as ever, decided not to pursue the weakened Confederates. If he had done so, the war may have been won more quickly.
The Battle of Antietam was the single bloodiest battle ever fought on American soil.
Almost 23,000 men were killed, wounded or missing.
The majority of the casualties were Union soldiers because the superior strategy of the Confederacy counterbalanced the Union's larger numbers. Lincoln certainly counted the battle as a Union victory.
He had drafted the Emancipation Proclamation earlier that year, but his cabinet advised him not to issue it until it appeared that the Union was ahead in the war. The Emancipation Proclamation did not free a single slave when it was issued, but it increased the enthusiasm of Northern soldiers who wished to fight for the cause of freedom.
It also infuriated the Confederacy, who felt insulted that Lincoln had passed legislation that, from their perspective, he had no authority to enforce.
The Battle of Antietam altered the course of the war, and, by extension, the future of the nation as the truly United States of America.